This is Joshua Hart here, 4 seconds out. Delighted to be joined by Sean McComb here today over Zoom. Sean, really appreciate your time. And how is everything, first of all, mate?
No worries. Thanks for having me on, Josh. Look, I'm feeling good. Back in Amsterdam here at the moment, training and everything's going well. So yeah, feeling brilliant.
Let's just dive straight into things. Obviously, you mentioned being out in Amsterdam. How come you take yourself over to Amsterdam to train? What's a bit different over there compared to training at home?
Well, my coach is based here now, Pete Taylor. So um, I've just decided. I think everyone else who Pete had in his stable is sort of went elsewhere. Um, I stay with Pete just because of the boxing knowledge that he has and the expertise in his coaching. And I mean, if I want to get the best out of myself, I have to invest in myself and make these sacrifices.
Absolutely. Obviously, it's been a frustrating time for you, or it was a frustrating time, but off the back of that now, you signed with Izzy and GBM Sports. You've had that comeback fight, that sixth rounder. Just how nice is it to have that promotional backing and to be back active in the ring?
Yeah, well, like you know what, it was very frustrating being out of the ring for so long, and to me, I feel like it was just over a year wasted. Um, I teamed up with Anto Fitz. Anto Fitz managed me now. He's got straight on the ball with Izzy. He's given me an opportunity with some promotional backing, and when I first signed, Izzy told me that he will get me fights and he'll keep me busy. And that's all I asked for as a fighter. He's done that. He got me out instantly on the card in full. And he also told me that he would get me taking fights and one fight back with GBM, and I believe he's going to pull through the taking fight next. So fingers crossed everything goes well and I'm back in taking contention.
And before we look at the future, obviously, you mentioned how frustrating that year out was and that year wasted. It's one thing just having that year out, but off the back of that Barboza fight, which still went down as one of the biggest robberies in the sport last year, if we're going to just be completely truthful about it, how difficult was it to stay motivated and stay in the gym and just hold that faith that you will be back in the ring and people will want to fight you again?
Yeah, well, I think holding the faith is one of the most important things there because I have faith in my ability. I have faith in how good I was, and the so like it was a frustrating time and it was difficult to stay motivated. And but the thing is, that I have a lot of discipline. I developed a lot of discipline throughout my life and my career. So training for me has just became a way of life. Yes, I enjoy a bit of downtime. I enjoy a beer as well as the next man, but I'm very disciplined. I'll train all week and I'll have a beer the weekend. I'll go for nice food, or you know, it doesn't stop me from training, and it doesn't stop me from believing that I can still achieve world titles. And even though I was caught in sort of a catch 22 between not having a promoter and not having a fight and not being able to get a fight and calling out all these names and not even getting not even getting a mention. Um, I still had some faith in me that one opportunity comes and that's it. That's all it is. That's all I need. And I got it with Izzy. So, I mean, it paid off for me in the long run.
And having that promotional backing as well, does it just give you that extra sense of security moving forward that, as well as having a trainer and a management team that are backing you, there's now a promotional outfit that clearly see you as being a face of the promotion in good time?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there's a lot of security in it. There's well, now that I finish this camp, they're already talking about potential dates in the future. So for me, obviously, I do understand that it's one fight at a time and take fights as they come. I'm not looking past anyone or beyond anyone by any means, but it's good to hear that they're talking about potential dates in the future. Which gives me that keeps me switched on and keeps me focused and just keeps me on top of everything professionally. Even it's like injury prevention, recovery, it's just small stuff like that make the big difference, which will prolong my career.
Hmm. And looking at that last performance, obviously, while just the simple six rounder just to get back into the swing of things, were you happy with how everything went on the night and just getting used to being back in a boxing ring in front of those bright lights?
Yeah, well, I done exactly what I said I was going to do. I think in the press conference beforehand, they asked me will I not come out. I said no. don't want to knock him out. I want to box him. I want to get the rounds in. I want to get the sharpness back. And I want to get that feeling of being under the lights again. And I want to enjoy the performance. My goal was to go in there and not get hit. And I think I've done that over 6 rounds. So for me, it was every box was ticked on my end, and I'm happy enough doing that, you know.
I spoke to Izzy after the fight, obviously a couple hours after the show finished, and he said one thing he didn't realize about you when he signed you was just how good you actually are. To hear that praise from Izzy, he's only had that one fight, and you only had those 6 rounds under his promotion so far. But for him to already have so much praise for you and say that you will be coming to take over the 140 division, it must be good to hear as a fighter.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's great to hear, and it's good that someone's recognizing that, someone's recognizing and admiring my style and my way of boxing. Um, Especially someone who's been in the sport a long time, both boxed himself and also in the promotional management business. So it's very nice to hear, and I just want to keep giving more of the same. I can fight all distances, and I believe I'm a universal boxer. If you come watch me sparring, I can fight in close, I can box at middle distance, I can box at long distance, I can box at all ranges, and I'm capable of doing that as I go up the levels.
I'm looking at that next date. I'm guessing is camp back underway then with a date hopefully in the near future.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in camp. I'm hoping to hear some news this week, so I'm pretty sure there will be some good news dropping this week of another show, TVM show, and yeah, I'm not sure if everything's been secured yet, but on my end, I'm very happy and very pleased with it.
And it seems that it will be back for titles for yourself as well, I believe.
Hopefully, if all like fingers crossed, that's the talk that they're trying to push me towards. Trying to get me a title. I told Lizzie I don't care which titles you want to get me. I'll fit anyone. Push me in the right direction. If I pick up a title that pushes me up the rankings, makes sense for me. I want to get as close to a world title as I can and get that opportunity to fight for a world title. And I believe I can beat them all. Like the Barboza fight wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? That was 3 weeks notice I got for that fight, and I performed exactly like any world elite fighter would perform. I didn't get the nod, but I definitely won the fight. And as I said, that wasn't a fluke. That didn't come by chance. Or he underestimated me or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I had 3 weeks notice. If I'd had a full camp against 9, 10 weeks notice, well, knows what could have happened that night. But I mean, I would do it again and again and again. He would never beat me in a million years.
So you mentioned that Barboza fight. Obviously that fight did prove that you are an elite 140-pound fighter. Do you feel with this next stage of your career now, do you feel there is a sense of making up for lost time, obviously through no fault of your own having that year out the ring, but do you still feel there is that sense of making up for that lost time?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer that things don't happen to you; they happen for you. And I believe, like, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have met Izzy. And as I said, it's time's been lost. It doesn't matter. It's been and gone. It's up to me now to just focus on what's happening right now and make sure that I take the right steps going forward to push me back into contention for world titles. And Izzy's given me his word that he's going to do all he can for me, and it seems like he's doing so already. So I'm very pleased with that, and it's very refreshing to see that um a promoter or a manager isn't pissing up your back and telling you it's training. You know what I mean? So it's nice.
And obviously you mentioned only taking it one fight at a time, but looking around that 140 scene at the moment, while this next fight is the one you need to have your eye on, what names are there out there that take your fancy?
Well, there's all like obviously in the UK domestic scene, I've said it numerous times. You've got Dalton Smith, you've Pierce O'Leary in Ireland, who's European champion. You've got Adam Azim. Their domestic names. Obviously, if you want to push on the world names, I would love to get a rematch again with Barboza somewhere down the lane and right that wrong. Um, I mean, I know Jack Carroll's moved up the welterweight, so that needs a wee bit of a bit of a gap in there as well. And I just want to play big names. It seems to me like the whole 140 division is almost shifted up the welterweight. They're speaking of Ryan Garcia up the welterweight. They've you know even Dan Henney talking about moving up the welterweight. David Lopez moving up the welterweight. Jack Carroll moving up the welterweight. So it's left a massive gap if they all do decide to move up the welterweight, which means the four main belts will be there to scramble for, and I'm all for it. You've Richard Hitchens, another name I would happily fit. Liam Farrow, another name. It's a great stacked division, and there's loads of big names in it, which I want to be amongst.
The domestic names that you mentioned are all very interesting. They're obviously Dalton Smith seems like he's getting his world title shot against Sabrina Diaz. But Adam Azim and Pierce O'Leary are both fighters without fight dates at the moment. Obviously, I'm sure Pierce O'Leary would be a massive fight wherever it goes in Ireland. Is that a fight that you believe does have legs to stand on and could materialise?
Yeah, well, we've tried it 2 or 3 times. I know me and Pierce both signed a contract to fight each other on the Eubank and pay on undercard. It fell through for promotional reasons, whatever that was, politics of boxing in, but it's something that can be done in the future. Pierce is very capable of going on and winning a world title in his own road. And I'm capable of going and win the world title on my own journey. And we could completely make an All Ireland world title, is world title fit, and it's something that can be done down the line, I believe, yeah.
We will come on to an All Ireland World Title fight as there is one coming up in the near future. But obviously, you also mentioned Adam Azim. He's been one of the hottest prospects in British boxing since he stepped onto the scene and made his debut, and has only continued to grow and grow. But he seems that he is a little bit stuck in the dark at the moment, as with boxers' promotional issues and everything, broadcaster issues. If there is a chance to get in the ring with Adam Azim, how do you believe you beat him on the night?
He's just boxing. You meet him, he jumps when he punches. Someone with good timing and good feet will beat him. It's easy. It's hard. He jumps when he punches. He focuses too much on throwing with power. Shane McGuigan's a great coach, nice coach. Don't get me wrong, and Adam Azim has serious power. But there's going to come a time where power can't get you through it, and he'll be found out. Someone with good distance, good timing, and good feet, just meet him as he jumps in, catch him on the way in, or someone who's going to make him look stupid when he falls short. That's the way to do it.
And if you were to map out the next 12 months of your career, how in an ideal world, how would you like it to look?
Well, I would like to fight for, maybe a European title again, which pushes me back into the top 10 rankings with a world governing body. Maybe defend it once, push me further up in the rankings, and then maybe get myself in the mandatory decision for the world title the next 12 months. It's very, very possible. As I say, I can fight here, and if I can get a fight in the next, couple of months, next 6 to 8 weeks, that will give me time to potentially fight again before the end of the year in December. And then going into 2026, you've got the whole world ahead of you.
And especially with you mentioned the shift of all these fighters moving up in weight. Do you believe that with obviously all these fighters going up, belts are falling vacant? I'm sure Richardson Hitchens has had conversations as well, I believe, of looking at going up as well. So that's another belt that would fall vacant. But when you look at those champions at the moment, who do you believe is the strongest in that 140 division?
Oh, I'd say potentially Lopez, probably Teofimo Lopez. I'm not sure if he's officially vacated, moved up yet. I'm not sure what he's done, but I would say Teofimo Lopez. And I mean, we've all seen him lose as well. He's lost to Cambosis, and it's like they're not unbeatable. These guys. There's obviously talk of Shakur Stevenson moving up to 140 as well, which is another great fighter. And I mean, if these guys are there, I want to fight them. I want to test myself.
Absolutely. Just obviously, I just want to grab your thoughts on two things going on in the boxing world. You mentioned you versus Pierce O'Leary down the line in an all-Irish world title fight. Well, we've got one in September at Windsor Park in Belfast with Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan. Just as
Yeah.
yourself, an Irish individual, how great is it to see these types of nights going over to Belfast and being put on in Ireland? And it's a blockbuster night, especially with Canelo Crawford on the same night, while it takes away the shine in the community and in Ireland. This is one of the biggest nights that we'll see for a very long time.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest fight in Irish history. Like, world all first time there's been an All Ireland world title fight. Ireland is stacked with talent. It always has been. We just didn't have the promotional backing that you have in the UK. And I believe starting to show now the talent we have on display. Really, really great fight. I do believe Lewis Crocker needs to change a lot of tactics. I think, you know, people say Paddy Donovan was 30 and he was using the elbow and he was using the head and whatnot. Let's take all that away from it. Lewis still underperformed. Lewis Crocker underperformed. I know Lewis very well. He was in my amateur boxing gym, and I know how good he can be. He needs to change it up, or it'll be the same outcome again. He needs to change his tactics. Paddy Donovan, who I've heard many rounds with, sparring, very big puncher, very talented, tricky opponent. Um, and it's in a football stadium. You know, it's in the National Football Stadium in the north of Ireland. So, I mean, it's a massive night. And for any undercard fighters that's on that show, like, consider themselves very lucky. It's grasp it all, hold, like, take it all in and just enjoy every single minute of it. I'll be there ringside watching, and I'm really looking forward to a massive night back.
I was about to just ask, will you be taking a little bit of time out of camp to get yourself over there and witness history?
Yeah, you could not go to that fight. You know, because I went to the last one. It was a great fight, great atmosphere, and I believe this one will just outdo it.
Absolutely. And there's one last thing, a real bizarre boxing story that's been doing the media rounds recently. We've seen the rise of influencer boxing, but more in particular, Jake Paul breaking away from that bracket. There's now talks of him fighting Anthony Joshua, of all names. But as a boxing purist yourself, what are your thoughts on this type of fight being entertained and the safety not being thought about as much?
If you look at Jake Paul, he's more professional than most professional fighters. He trains every single day. He trains twice a day every day. He's got a lot better over time, and I believe, like, you know, the Jake Paul that we're seeing now would probably beat Tommy Fury now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it wouldn't be wrong not to call Tommy Fury an influencer boxer. You know what I mean? Or a professional, because we see Tommy Fury as a professional boxer, but I do believe Jake Paul would probably beat him now.
Mm.
Um, Fighting Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, you know, he's going to get serious money for it. Um, why not? Why not? Like, I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I think boxers are shit on all the time by the media, by the public, by when you're winning fights, you're beating nobody. When you're losing fights, you are a nobody. You never win. So I think it's a very selfish sport, and I think you need to just go and go where the money is. Always go where the money is, and if he's getting serious dough to play Jake Paul, fucking take it with two hands. But if someone offered me the fight for a fraction of the money, I would take it, and he's twice the size of me.
Do you know what? Sure, I think fair enough. That's probably the best answer I've heard, and I've asked a lot of people about that. Fair enough. I'm going to leave it there, Sean. Really appreciate your time, and yeah, we
No
look
worries.
forward to hopefully seeing some fight news this week.
Yes, Mazzy Josh, good man. Appreciate it.